Welcome everybody to our Bucs UK podcast, episode 59, number second seed, fantastic. Alex and Kieran are both away this week, so in true Buccaneers tradition, it's next man up, and you've got me looking after the ship tonight. I'm really pleased. I've got a great lineup tonight with us. I've got Pete and Adam, who are regulars with us, and Simon's joining us for his debut appearance. So, Simon, welcome along. Great for you to give us a little bit of introduction about yourself, how long you've been a Bucs UK member, and your experiences with Tampa.
Yeah, sure. So I've been a Bucs fan since 2011. Chose them using the most scientific process available. I was at Wembley. We were playing the Bears. I thought I'd much rather go somewhere warm. I didn't know what I was signing up for because I bought a Josh Freeman jersey that day, and that set the tone for most of the last 10 years or so. I hooked up with the Bucs UK. I think it might have been, but it wasn't long after that, one of the Wembley games. And obviously just got to meet all the guys outside with some photos and stuff, and then just kind of sort of spoke to you a lot since then. And then I've been fortunate enough to get to a couple of games in Tampa and a stadium tour and a facility tour over the last 10 years. And now actually we're good all of a sudden, which is quite nice. So I feel it's going quite well. Gone before it was the bandwagon. So
well, yeah, we've all had to suffer those tough years, haven't we?
Indeed. But,
that's what makes winning season so special.
Yeah, exactly, it all feels extra good when we started being good from absolutely horrendous.
Yeah, I appreciate it.
Well, it's great to have you on board, and thanks for joining us tonight. And that is obviously the best place to start. The game of the weekend. It was a tough old start. First half wasn't so great to watch, but we blew them away second half. So, Adam, what did you think overall about the game?
Apart from that first quarter, a pretty comfortable game, I thought. You can't even say much too bad about the team in the first quarter because we didn't hardly have the ball. Offense didn't hardly have the ball. It was just dominated by them driving up the field, which is a little bit concerning because teams of the caliber of the Panthers are finding it easy just to sail through us. But in the second half, we corrected that and we put the game to bed just on a different league to those guys. So can't really complain too much about that second half.
I think it was the end of the first quarter, that pass to Perryman, where he made that catch, that sort of seemed to change the whole momentum. That brought us alive. Yeah, I know it's obviously right on the 5-yard line for Bell to just run it in for a touchdown. But that seemed, even though it's just before the half, it was sort of gave us momentum of like, oh, actually we can do something and we can create something.
Yeah, we talk on the forum, don't we, about momentum shifters and tide turners, and that Perryman catch. It was exactly that, one of those tide turners that just changed the whole game.
Because up until then, we weren't even like making third down. We were really just so slow and just getting nowhere. But yeah, that seemed to just light the fire that we needed to make us sort of feel we could get back into this.
So Pete, obviously we still managed to get 41 points in the game.
Not the 50
all
burger that we've been hoping for.
Yeah, so I mean, second half in particular, what did you think about our offensive display?
We just seemed to click again, even though there was sort of, we on the forum we were all talking about wanting to get to Evans and Gronk, is he going to get his yards and all that sort of stuff. But we did seem to just find the rhythm again that we've been missing, especially in that first half. That slow start was just terrible, that we couldn't seem to click those passes together, or we gave up on the run. I think you said yourself on the forum that Keyshawn Vaughn had some great runs and we didn't
disappeared again.
Yeah, we just dropped it off. In the second half, we seemed to pick that up, even bringing in Scotty for the sort of trick play end around at the end and all that sort of stuff. I know obviously by then we were comfortable well in the lead, but even throughout the second half, we just seemed to find a lot better flow.
Yeah, so Simon, obviously Mike Evans is the man. What do you think about his performance and what a player he's been for us?
That guy's made of like granite or something, isn't he? Because if you believe the media outlets and stuff, like 2 weeks ago, he's basically broken and we were lucky if we were going to get him back for the playoffs. And he was just strolling around like he owned the place. Like, and then I think he went down, did he take like a helmet to the elbow or something? And suddenly everybody's like, oh, why did we bother trying to put him in just to get them yards? You know, it's not a big deal. And the guy just gets up, sits down for a few minutes, shakes it off, and then he's back in the game like, I don't care. You know, he's an absolute Superman. Now, I was concerned a little bit that the game might play out with the whole, let's just get the guys their targets and bonuses and it'd be a bit of an exhibition. But it really didn't, because after that first quarter, which was a bit sluggish, it might have looked like an exhibition, but it was an exhibition of excellence because we were literally just dispatching them, and there was nothing they could do about it. We could have had as many as we wanted, absolutely as many as we wanted.
And Adam, Brady and Gronk, back to the partnership again with the Dosh.
You'd swear they'd been playing with each other for a while, wouldn't you? The way they sing back and forth. They're incredible. Like Gronk, I can't describe him. He just looks like a giraffe trying to get up to speed when he's running, but he still makes 15 yards and still people are bouncing off him. He's just, that connection is just something else. It's unrivaled in the whole of the NFL, I'd say.
I mean, he looks so cumbersome when he's running, doesn't he?
Oh,
yeah, he just
looks like you've got 3 legs.
Yeah. But he just possibly, and I think AB was watching when Brady wouldn't come out, and he made sure Gronk got his money.
Yeah,
of course.
Well, he's going to look after his boy, isn't he?
Absolutely. I mean,
his real boy.
His real boy. Yeah. And again, it wasn't just.
But we need to give Evans a round of applause, boys. 1,000. He's unreal. League of his own. He's unreal.
I mean,
yeah,
the
in
first
ratings,
8 seasons,
they never put him up there, do they? In
And
the
let's be
ratings, there's so many people that sort of drop him either not on there or he's down at 8, but they just don't see it because they talk about the yards after catch, but he still made 8,000 seasons. Do you know what I mean? It's just.
I don't know if his last 2 seasons have perhaps been more impressive, because if you look at the numbers early on when he was basically the guy, he was obviously just getting it funneled to him the whole game. And then obviously in the last couple of years where we've got more guys now and he's still getting them targets because we know how good he is, but we've had to spread them all out. I mean, Brady's thrown for over 5,000 yards and they've obviously not all gone to Evans. So he's still getting those catches and those yards and stuff. And I just see no reason why he won't be doing this for like 10, 12 years.
I mean, it's amazing, another 3 touchdowns. How he manages to get that space in the end zone as well. But he's always useful for a cheeky little push off and being a bit strong in there with the defensive backs. But he just makes that space where no one else seems to be able to.
Yeah,
his height is so good. The way he just sort of like reaches above him. But he turns so late. When the ball's coming over, you think, oh, he's not even seen it. And then suddenly he's like, oh, there it is. Yeah, cheers. I'll take that.
And then Brady then. So, the big question at the minute is
MVP.
Is it Rodgers or Brady for MVP? I mean, surely the numbers stack up for Brady, don't they, Pete?
They have to. I mean, he's just been phenomenal.
Yeah,
I can't see a scenario, or I can't even see an argument where Aaron Rodgers is better than Brady this season. If you just take this season alone, apart from the interceptions, which we know half of, 12 interceptions? At least half of them are not Brady's fault. Yeah. So if you take that into context, it's a one horse race.
Hasn't he thrown for like 500 more yards than?
It's more than that, isn't it?
Yeah. Is it more than that?
Yeah, more than 500 yards. It's ridiculous.
I mean, he's blowing away. Not that the Buccaneers, it's just an indictment really of what a quarterback class the Buccaneers have had. But he's just blowing all of our records away already in 2 seasons. So
you have to wonder with what he's dropping now. Is like who's like, I don't know how long we've got left on this Brady wave. We'll enjoy it while we can, but with the way that he's destroying the records as well, I mean, these look like they might be sat there for a while, even with this extra game, because he's putting no effort in and just smashing them to smithereens.
Yeah, I mean, while he's got that offensive line protecting him, he's going to enjoy it, isn't he? You do notice if there's an early breakthrough and he gets caught a bit early, then he does get a little bit timid at times. But I don't see that O-line breaking up for a while either.
It was a little bit of a worry against Panthers because there was in that first quarter there was a couple where I don't know whether he just held on to the ball way longer than he ever normally does, and that's why he got caught, or whether there were some people slipping through. But there was times in that first quarter where you did worry that he was going to get caught and then he would go back in his shell like we saw in the other game. But no, it's like
I did
the
see some
O-line. The
stats
O-line's
on
been
that.
unreal.
They were talking about his release time, and I think in the first quarter or whatever, I can't remember exactly the number, but I know that once he made the adjustments, it was 1.83 seconds between receiving the ball and releasing the ball. Which, I mean, I can't do anything in 1.83 seconds. Never mind throw a ball down the field. So
no, he's unreal.
Okay.
I thought our new running back done well. What's his name? Scotty Miller.
Scotty Miller. Yeah, I mean, there's definitely a few notable additions that need a bit of recognition, particularly as Cyril Grayson went out early. That was a little bit of a blow, but certainly Le'Veon Bell and Scotty Miller showed up, didn't they? That was promising to see.
Yeah, playoff Scotty. That's what it's going to be.
Playoff Scotty, yeah. I'm hoping that they've been keeping him away on purpose just for the playoffs now. So I'm hoping there's a couple of they're going to open the playbook up for Scooter and see if him and Brady can get that connection going again in the playoffs.
Yeah. What was good is it wasn't even that deep ball, was it?
No. Totally new.
Had we forgotten about him? Because obviously we've had so many injuries and stuff, and they're all like next man up. I think we'd even forgotten where he was, because he's not a guy that we pull from deep down the roster. You know, if everybody's fully healthy, he's quite near the top of the roster. But now he's coming in because guys that we've barely heard of get injured. So, you know, it bodes well.
Well, the play he obviously made a touchdown on was pretty much a Chris Godwin design play, wasn't it?
Yeah.
Where
did you see
wide receiver speed? So
did you see the Tristan Wirfs mic'd up with? I think Hainsey's the ones that is doing all the blocking for him, getting down there, and Wirfs is there behind him going crazy.
Yeah,
brilliant.
Yeah, brilliant. I mean, I don't know how much they sort of gave in at the end there on their defense, but they were certainly getting battered at the end there, which is great to see. So that's offense, all looking good at the minute. Another bunch of points racked up, more touchdowns, more yards, looking good. What did you guys think of the defense, Adam?
Well, it's my biggest concern going into the playoffs is this defense. Now, I will say we're doing everything right because we've only lost 4 games. I can't complain none of us can complain too much about the defense performance with all the injuries we've had. But I'm still a little concerned that any team on any given quarter can sail through us. And I don't know what Todd Bowles can do. I just hope going into the playoffs now against teams like the Eagles now, they're not going to find a way to just sail through us. So I'm hoping he can show us something up.
We're getting a lot of players back, at least. You know, we're getting JPP, Shaq, and hopefully Levante David back. So that should help shore things up. I like Kevin Minter. I like him, but he's just been slow, and his tackling hasn't been up to scratch, has it? There's been a lot of missed tackles by him, and he hasn't got that. There would be a lot of times where they seem to target his side because Devin White's obviously quick enough to get to the outside, whereas Minter hasn't been quick enough, and he's sort of been late on that tackle that's let a player through. I think we've been run on recently because we're just missing that security of Levante David.
I thought tackling was pretty poor first half in particular.
Yeah.
I think you know how much when it's the whole once they're gone, you appreciate what you had or whatever. Because with Levante not being there, obviously you miss his physical presence anyway. But it's the impact on Devin White of him not being there, which means he's playing differently. And I think I've seen people suggesting that he's playing badly. He's not playing badly. He's playing differently. He's fulfilling a different role, not necessarily his best role, but maybe it's just like blessing in disguise to have Levante out for a little while. He's now going to come back when we need him. We've managed to get through to the playoffs, bring him back. Hopefully he's fresh, injury free. And then maybe we'll look a bit more resilient in the defense.
Because what they're saying, this is going to be our first time. Most of us, like all of our starters, are going to be back on defense since the first game of the season.
Since week 1, yeah.
It's just crazy.
Sean Murphy, bunting went down really quickly in week 1, didn't he? And never really had our defense out there since.
So that should be the perfect time for them all to get back together is for the playoff run.
Yeah, very few injuries last year, and we've got this last year's injury this year, but we've managed to make it this far, and then there's not that many games left now. With the players all coming back, it feels like they've come back just at the right time.
Yeah, looking good. So JTS, he showed up again. More plays. He's definitely coming to the fore. Certainly filling some of those gaps at the minute.
Yeah, he's a player that I don't think we knew what we were getting when we drafted him. I think he's far exceeded the expectations of his draft grade and everything, which is brilliant for us.
I mean, they
steal at
took a
32,
gamble on him being a big lad
missing that
with
year.
good arms, didn't they? And hoping that he'd sort of get in there. And he's definitely started to make plays now. So, again, just Jason Light in his draft in the last 2 or 3 years.
Standing.
And all the free agents and everyone he's brought in. I mean, what an amazing job he's done.
Oh, unreal. Especially this season. You think of how many, we always talk about that next man up, how many people that we've only got in that week or the week before, and they're making interceptions and they're making fumbles, and they've just been unreal.
Well, just look at the secondary.
The defense, we still forced 2 fumbles and got 1 interception this game. So the defense did do well. They got the turnovers.
It's just that first quarter, wasn't it? It's a strange one. It's like they need to
shake the
to get that out of the way until they start dominating again.
Yeah, it's not the first time this season as well that teams have had really long, slow drives against us, eating up the clock. And that's probably been our biggest downfall at times, is not being able to halt that.
Yeah, it's funny if you think about it now, because I guess pre-game, we didn't know what was going to happen elsewhere, that if we'd have won, we'd have gone on to take the 2 seed. I wonder whether, like, obviously, if you'd have known that, because some of the teams had that benefit from games the night before and whatever the case may be, that there might have been a bit more intensity. And I think they kind of came out a bit sluggish. And then, like you say, we didn't really have the ball. But then as the game started to play out, and then obviously when we saw what we got out of it, you're kind of thinking, man, we could have shot ourselves in the foot if we'd not been careful. But, we're there now.
So, Pete, our old favourite, special teams.
Yeah, no, Kieran did give us a grade in this week. Yeah, but in general, it was pretty sound as usual. Tuck up only missed 1 on that slip. Who's the new punter? I can't pronounce his surname. Because there was one muff punt, wasn't there?
Yeah.
There was one punt that just sort of wasn't very good. That was when we trapped ourselves deep in our own half.
The thing that worries me is we know we still haven't found that magic returner that's going to break one, but I'm always worried that someone's going to do it to us.
It always feels that way, doesn't it?
Yeah.
It never feels like we're going to break one off, and it always feels like they're going to run one back against us. But
always late in the game as well.
Yeah, my bar for special teams is so low that I'm just happy with no massive mistakes. The rest of the team makes up for the special teams. I'm not expecting
I just need you to show up.
Just catch the ball, do your bare minimum just to get by. You don't mess anything up. I'm happy. Just keep it at that.
Absolutely. I mean, as I say before, special teams, they don't necessarily can't win us a game, but they can definitely lose us it or kill our momentum. Yeah. So I'm always happy if it's just a standard grade B. Just do your job, get out there, and let the offense and defense do the magic.
Yeah.
Okay, great. Thanks, gents. That's all wrapped up looking at last week's game. We've got a few views now from some of our members, which I will take a look at. So as ever, we've got some views from our members. It was another great evening on the forum during the game. So it's always great to have you on board, and there's always plenty of comments. It was our end of regular season disco, so it was a fun place to be. So make sure whenever we've got a game on, you join the forum and come and share the fun or the misery with us. It's all about group therapy at times, but it's an absolutely brilliant place to be. So we've got Alex Howes there, Joe Triansoninka. He's really developing nicely, and as we said earlier, he's definitely starting to play and make some big plays. And with other players out in the last few weeks, he's actually, really been noticed as a good positive for us. So we've picked that up. That's great. Thanks, Alex. There's one from me. So the editing boys have already thrown that in. Turnover, man the boat. We got those turnovers at the end. Definitely time to get the celebrations going. Our defense turned up. And Michael Casey, 13 wins in the season. Got to be happy with that. Absolutely. Bucs, we've had a fair few years of misery, so we've got to enjoy the good times.
I think back in the day, I think it took us 3 or 4 seasons to get 13 wins. You can't be disappointed with 13 in one season.
Well, it just goes to show just how good a player Mike Evans is, isn't it? To get that during those times. And Gary Botley, my God, creativity on offense. I'm sure he was talking about the Scotty Miller play there. Scooter, love a trick play by Phil Busby there. And yeah, it was great to see something special coming out of nowhere. I don't think any of us expected to see that play coming up, did we?
Nope.
No, definitely not.
Just what the
Another thing
doctor
Gary
ordered.
will be happy with is that there was a couple of contested catches, wasn't there, from the defense. He's always bringing that up,
100%.
saying that
Gary's going to be loving that.
he wants to see it.
Yeah, absolutely. Yeah, no, that was definitely great. So thanks for your comments, guys. I suppose that's pretty much wrapping up last week's game. The only thing I'd just like to say is just a thanks to Matt Stafford for throwing that final interception and giving us
Yeah.
a second seed.
Thanks, Matt. Well done.
Well done. You're a great player, especially now
Florida
as
boy.
fantasy's finished and I wasn't worried about your score. Here we go, back to the playoffs. 2 years in a row, and the Buccaneers finally get to host a home regular playoff game. We've not had one for a while, bearing in mind it was the Super Bowl last time, but this is a real home team playoff game, so that's got to be good. And would you believe it? We've got the Philadelphia Eagles, who we've certainly got some history with in the playoffs. So that's going to be certainly one that we're all going to enjoy. Adam, how do you see the game going?
Oh, we're going to batter them. Easy. It's going to be a nice start in opening home field advantage, and we're going to batter them. No, I don't know. You can't take anything for granted in the playoffs. One thing I'm slightly concerned about is up until we played them in week 6, our run defense was number 1 in the league. And since we played them, we've dropped to 15th in run defense in the league. So I don't know, something happened in that game where they let a little loose, got a few runs, and we can't afford their quarterback to do those scripted runs against us. But I think if we can keep all that in check, we're going to win.
I mean, they are definitely focused on a run game. Their whole organisation is set up for that now. So,
well,
like you say, it's going to be really the key to the game, I think, really, is to stop their run. What do you think,
definitely.
Pete?
Yeah, it's like you say, it's all about the run for them. If it's not, because they're looking at getting Hurts back. They reckon they're going to have Hurts back, and obviously he's good with the run. But also they've brought a couple of people off I don't know if it's COVID list or if it's just the practice list. But they've got a couple of their last game against Dallas. They had that Huntley. He seemed to do quite well in the run, so they've got some surprises. We might not have much tape on him to sort of know how he cuts and all that sort of stuff to defend against it. But if we can contain it, hopefully with all the players that we're going to get back, it's going to create us a platform to get the number 1 back.
I mean, obviously the Dallas game, they got blown away a little bit, but they did sit a lot of people. They already had secured the 6th seed.
Yeah.
And they knew
it's not the same team.
Yeah, I mean, obviously, Hurts, they rested. He had a bad ankle. It'd be interesting to know exactly how much that has got better and improved, and he'd be ready for it. What about you, Simon? How do you think it's going to go?
Well, I think we mentioned about the timing of the players coming back, and I think that might work very much in our favour, because I've got the same fear. When you look at Hurts, he's very mobile. They've got other players who can run, and if we're bringing players back, I mean, what I'd love to see is actually just lay one on him early in the game. If he's got a sore ankle or whatever, just lay one on him and just put him in his
now
place,
you're talking.
And that should dictate the rest of the game. I mean, we've got more than enough on the offense. I've got mild concerns on the defense, but ultimately, I think we'll have too much for them on the offense.
Yeah, I mean, obviously, it was a tight enough game when we played them earlier in the season. What was it, 28-20, something like that? It was just about a score, but they've run 6 out of their last 8 games. So, they're definitely a team that's also on form at the minute.
Yeah, they're a completely different team. Compared to the team we played in week 6, they're a completely different team now. They couldn't run the ball at all up until they played us. I know I drafted Miles Sanders I picked up Gainwell, and they still couldn't run the ball up until that point. But then something happened for them after they played us, where they just started running. One of the best teams in the league at running, and our defense went the totally opposite way. So I don't know. I think it'll be a closer matchup, but we are definitely going to win.
Okay,
Can't bet against the Bucs, can we?
So what are your
advantage
predictions?
going our way.
Yeah, having runs back. So what are your predictions then, Pete? Do you want to start off? What do you think the score's going to be?
Oh, I hate doing the scores because I can never decide whether I go really high or really sort of close. I reckon it would be something like 34-26 to the Bucs, sort of something around that. We always come alive towards the end of the game, don't we? We try to find that bit of form, and Brady knows what he wants to do, and we seem to just click later into the game.
Yeah. Adam?
I don't know. I'm tempted to say a Ryan suck up 9-0. But I'm not gonna do anything stupid like that. I think it's gonna be a 41-37. I think it's gonna be a high shootout game. Good one for the average observer.
Well, it doesn't sound good for our defense.
Well, that's it. I don't think that the defense is my concern. So I think we're not gonna be able to stop them as much as we'd like. It's gonna be another heart attack game. But like you said, Simon, our offense is just going to be too powerful for them.
And Simon, what's your thoughts?
Yeah, I think we'll outgun them. We're good for 30 plus points at the Ray J. So, I mean, I think I'm going to have to give them a couple of touchdowns. So I don't know, maybe like a 34 or 37-17 or something like that. They'll give us a little fright early on, maybe a bit like the last game. We'll move into the game. We'll blow them away.
Yeah, I was going for 38-24. So, yeah, I can definitely see them scoring against us. But I'm just hoping that our offense, like you guys say, has got too much for them. Okay, so that's it. I think we're all excited about playoff game. Let's roll on. Looking forward to another Super Bowl one. So it's going to be great. Just thanks everyone for joining us today, Adam and Pete.
Thank you.
And well done, Simon, for making your debut.
Thanks for having me.
We got a magic wand before we go, boys.
Go on then, Adam, if you've got a magic wand.
My magic wand is, I haven't got a clue. I just thought I'd say. I'm going to go for play the game like it's the second half. Stop these stupid slow starts where they have the ball for 14 minutes of a 15-minute quarter. Start is like it's the second half and blast the team from the start.
Hey.
I'll go don't give up on the run. Especially if we might get Fournette back. If we get a good run, if we get our own good run system go, let's keep with it.
Right, and Simon?
I'm not going to wave it on the team. I'm going to wave it on the fans. I just think I know we know what we've got, but last year when we were playing these games, we were hoping we were going to win. This year, we're expecting we're going to win. If we can just rein that in a little bit and just get behind the team, I think we'll be fine.
Awesome.
Right. Are they giving us a weather warning or something at the moment? I know for Sunday, aren't they saying it's going to either be a storm or raining?
I haven't seen that.
That's certainly one to watch. Particularly, Tampa weather can turn pretty quickly. Fingers crossed it's going to be good. We don't want it to become a windy, horrible thing where you can't throw the ball well.
I know. It turns into a running game.
With no running backs.
With 200 yards. I'm going to chuck a plague stick in here as well while we're at it. I'm going to plague their quarterback and the backup quarterback because we don't play too well against backup quarterbacks. So I'm going to chuck a bit of COVID into their quarterback room.
At least Gardner Minshew's not a rookie. Before we go, I'd like to thank everybody for watching. Make sure you all click like, add your comments and let us know that you're watching, join in. Also, another big thanks to Bucs Report for their continued support of our podcast. So it's great to have everybody on board. Cheers.
All right, guys.
Bucs.
Yeah.
Go Bucs.
Good.
That was nice and short. That was quick and sweet.
It was, wasn't it?
Straight to the point.
Yeah.
Just fly through it.
Well, it was because we didn't have all the ups and errors from the.
I love it.
One take, Dave.
Yeah, one take, Dave.
Cancer's all he needs.